Top 5 ways the world could end and how we might stop it, where we explore the biggest questions facing humanity. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our deep dives into science, survival, and the strange truths about our world. Today, we're taking on something huge, the top 5 ways the world could end. But don't click away, because this isn't just about doom and gloom. We'll also explore the solutions scientists, thinkers, and everyday people are developing to prevent global catastrophe. So, can we really save the world? Let's find out. Asteroid impact. We're starting with one of the oldest threats known to Earth, asteroids. Cut to CGI rendering of a giant rock hurtling through space, glowing red as it enters Earth's atmosphere. 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid slammed into the Yucatan Peninsula. The result? A planet-wide extinction event that wiped out the dinosaurs and forever changed life on Earth. The impact carved out a crater over 90 miles wide and sent molten debris high into the atmosphere. Shock waves circled the globe within minutes. Oceans boiled near the blast zone. Inland forests caught fire. Dust and sulfur choked the skies, blocking sunlight for months, maybe years. Photosynthesis collapsed. Food chains disintegrated. 75% of all life, gone. It was the end of an era and a chilling reminder of how quickly nature can erase everything. And it could happen again. Right now, there are more than 30,000 near-Earth objects, NEOs, tracked by space agencies, and a few are big enough to cause serious damage. Cut to footage of NASA's NEO tracking center. Graphs of asteroid orbits surround the screen. Imagine a city-sized rock hitting Earth at 20,000 miles per hour. Entire regions gone in seconds. Shock waves circling the globe. Fires, tsunamis, a darkness blotting out the sun. The good news? We're not completely unprepared. In 2022, NASA launched the DART mission, short for Double Asteroid Redirection Test, humanity's first full-scale experiment in planetary defense. The target was Dimorphos, a small moon orbiting the asteroid Didymos, located nearly 7 million miles from Earth. The idea? To crash a spacecraft, traveling at over 14,000 miles per hour, directly into the asteroid and observe whether we could nudge it off its course. On September 26, 2022, the DART spacecraft slammed into Dimorphos, creating a visible debris plume and slightly altering its orbit, a historic first. It was a proof of concept. We can deflect a space rock if we see it coming early enough. But timing is everything. A few weeks' delay in detection could mean disaster. That's why expanding space surveillance systems, improving global coordination, and funding rapid response missions are more critical than ever. The mission was a success, proof that deflecting a killer asteroid is possible, but only if we spot it early enough. That's why funding for space surveillance, international cooperation, and disaster planning is critical. Asteroids are a threat, but not an unbeatable one. Science might just be our best shield. Climate change catastrophe. Next up, climate change, a slow-moving threat that's already reshaping the world around us. Footage of burning forests, floods sweeping through towns, polar bears on shrinking ice. Since the industrial age, global temperatures have risen by over 1.1 degrees, pushing weather patterns into chaos. Glaciers are melting at unprecedented rates, pouring fresh water into the oceans and disrupting natural cycles. Sea levels are rising inch by inch, swallowing coastlines and threatening island nations with extinction. Coral reefs, once vibrant ecosystems teeming with life, are bleaching and dying due to ocean warming and acidification. Entire species, from insects to mammals, are disappearing as their habitats vanish or shift faster than they can adapt. Wildfires burn longer and hotter. Floods are more frequent. Droughts stretch for years. The balance of nature, finely tuned over millions of years, is unraveling before our eyes. But what's even scarier are the tipping points. That's when small changes suddenly trigger massive, irreversible shifts, like the collapse of the Amazon rainforest or the shutdown of ocean currents. Cut to simulations showing sea level rise, global heat maps. A 2°C rise in global temperature may not sound like much, but the consequences would be devastating. Hundreds of millions could be displaced as rising seas flood major coastal cities like Jakarta, New York, and Mumbai. Farmlands could turn into deserts as prolonged megadroughts wipe out crops, threatening global food supplies. Vector-borne diseases like malaria and dengue could expand into regions where they've never existed before. Melting permafrost could release methane, a potent greenhouse gas, accelerating climate feedback loops beyond our control. With scarce water, collapsing agriculture, and rising heat, mass migrations could overwhelm borders and ignite political unrest and violent conflict. Climate refugees may become the defining humanitarian crisis of the century. Not in the future, but within our lifetime. But again, there's a path forward. Countries are investing in clean energy, electric vehicles, carbon capture, and reforestation. Clips of wind farms, solar cities, and climate summits. The Paris Agreement set a goal to keep warming below 1.5 degrees. But to get there, we need to slash global emissions in half by 2030. Climate change is happening. The only question is how bad we'll let it get, and whether we act fast enough to stop it. Nuclear war. Number 3, nuclear war. The threat you might think disappeared with the Cold War, but didn't. Archival black and white footage of mushroom clouds, people ducking under desks, and Cold War propaganda. Today, 9 nations possess nuclear weapons, with a combined arsenal of nearly 13,000 warheads. These weapons aren't buried in forgotten bunkers. Many are on hair-trigger alert, ready to be launched within minutes of a perceived threat. Just one modern warhead is capable of vaporizing an entire city with temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. A full-scale exchange between nuclear superpowers could kill tens of millions in the first hour alone, followed by radiation sickness, infrastructure collapse, and societal breakdown. And it doesn't stop there. The smoke from firestorms would rise into the upper atmosphere, blocking sunlight for months, triggering a nuclear winter. Global temperatures could plummet. Crops would fail. Billions could face starvation, even in countries untouched by the blast. A full-scale nuclear war between major powers would be civilization ending. But even a small regional conflict, say between India and Pakistan, could kill millions instantly, then cause global famine by blocking sunlight for years. Visual of nuclear winter simulation. Crops fail, temperatures drop, skies darken. Nuclear weapons don't just kill people, they destroy the systems we all depend on, the invisible threads that hold civilization together. Farming collapses as radioactive fallout poisons soil and water. Crops wither under a sunless sky. Global trade grinds to a halt, with ports, factories, and shipping lanes reduced to rubble or rendered inoperable. Power grids fail, plunging millions into darkness as critical infrastructure is vaporized or contaminated. Communication networks go silent. No internet, no emergency broadcasts, no connection to the outside world. In a matter of hours, the modern world, everything we take for granted, would be reduced to chaos and silence. What can stop this? Diplomacy, arms treaties, and verification systems. The US and Russia have engaged in arms reduction for decades, though recent political tensions threaten progress. Show UN conferences, peace talks, protest marches. Movements like the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons push for global disarmament, but only grassroots pressure and international cooperation can reduce the danger. Closing line for segment. The nuclear clock is ticking. Let's hope the world listens before it strikes midnight. Global pandemic. We all lived through it, but the next global pandemic could be even worse. Clips of empty streets during COVID-19 lockdowns, overwhelmed hospitals, and vaccine lines. In 2020, COVID-19 swept across the globe, infecting over 700 million people and claiming the lives of more than 7 million. Borders closed, cities emptied, economies ground to a halt. Life, as we knew it, changed overnight. But here's the terrifying truth. It could have been so much worse. COVID-19 had a relatively low fatality rate compared to many viral threats. Now imagine a virus as contagious as measles, which can spread through the air and linger in a room for hours, combined with the deadliness of Ebola, which kills up to 90% of those it infects. Such a virus could move silently, spreading across continents before symptoms even appear. Hospitals would collapse. Governments might fall. Entire societies could unravel in weeks, and it wouldn't take science fiction to make it happen. Just a single mutation, a lab mistake, or a spillover from a stressed wildlife ecosystem. And don't forget, pandemics aren't always natural. Lab accidents, bioweapons, or engineered pathogens pose additional threats. Dense cities pack millions into tight spaces, perfect for viral spread. Deforestation pushes humans closer to wild animals. The wildlife trade brings dangerous pathogens into markets and homes. Global travel moves viruses across borders in hours. Together, these forces create the perfect storm for the next pandemic. But here's the good news. Scientists develop vaccines for COVID-19 in record time, thanks to decades of mRNA research and global collaboration. Clips of vaccine manufacturing, mobile labs, and contact tracing teams. To prevent the next outbreak, we need early warning systems, transparent reporting, and global coordination, especially in places where surveillance is weak. Closing line for segment. A deadly virus could bring the world to its knees again, unless we stay one step ahead. Artificial intelligence run amok. Finally, the wild card of the modern age. Artificial intelligence. Clips of humanoid robots, machine learning code, and eerie AI-generated faces. AI is transforming everything. Medicine, finance, warfare, even art. But with great power comes great risk. What happens if AI systems go rogue? What if a superintelligence pursues goals we didn't intend? Or worse, goals we can't stop? And it's not just robots taking over. AI can already generate fake news, mimic voices, bypass security systems, and manipulate public opinion. The fear? We create something smarter than us that we can't control. To counter this, researchers are racing to design AI alignment protocols, kill switches, and governance frameworks. Show labs, global AI summits, and discussions on AI ethics. Leaders in tech and science, like the Future of Life Institute and OpenAI, are calling for regulation before it's too late. AI might solve some of humanity's biggest problems, but only if we make sure it shares our values. Conclusion: can we save the world? So, can we save the world? Montage of people working together. Scientists in labs, climate activists, astronauts, school children marching for peace. Each threat we've covered is real, but so are the solutions. From asteroid defense to AI safety, from climate action to pandemic readiness, the tools are within reach. What it takes is courage, cooperation, and commitment. Governments, companies, communities, and you. Yes, you watching this. Because the future isn't something we wait for. It's something we build, together. Call to action. If this video opened your eyes, please like, share, and comment below. Which of these 5 threats do you think is the most urgent? And which gives you the most hope? Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We have more videos coming that explore the challenges and possibilities of the 21st century.